You're listening to Search the Scriptures Daily, a program in which we encourage everyone who desires to know God's truth to look to God's Word for all that is essential for salvation and living one's life in a way that is pleasing to Him. Our first segment of our program, in which we're addressing The Secret. If you've not heard of The Secret, it's a recipe for getting everything you want from a godlike power or force. It's been described by the promoters of The Secret as a supreme genie with unlimited number of wishes available.
Tom, we got a problem, though. The secret is out.
Yeah.
So it's not a secret anymore. How can they call it a secret?
Dave, The Secret is out. I know you know that. It's no longer a secret, but it's an 80-minute video and a book based upon the video. And thanks mostly to really huge publicity given by Oprah Winfrey and Larry King on their TV programs, it's been on the New York Times bestseller list for 17 weeks.
Top of it?
For most of those 17 weeks, right. Yes. Having sold 6 million copies thus far, and the DVD has sold more than 2 million copies.
Everybody knows about The Secret.
Well, Dave, as I mentioned last week, I was up in Canada, in Edmonton. That's pretty far north. Mm-hmm. And at the airport, there were stacks of The Secret in the airport bookstore. So this is out, and I understand there's more to come regarding The Secret. So everybody will know The Secret if they don't know of it as of yet.
Well, Tom, let me tell our listeners a secret about The Secret.
Go ahead.
But I don't think it's a secret either. It doesn't work, folks. It doesn't work. It is a fraud. It's not true. Okay? So,
well, but Dave, that's your opinion. So I think what we need to do.
I'll give them statistics.
Well, here's what we'll do. Let's go over The Secret and analyze what they present in the book, which is, the Lord willing, the next few programs. That's our aim. It's our objective.
Tom, it's something like the health and wealth gospel that maybe some of our listeners have heard of, at least.
Yes.
Not secular listeners, but and they say,
well, anybody that has a TV who gets religious programming, most of it is about health, prosperity. Send me this, send me that.
And you should never be sick.
Right.
I guess, you never get sick, then you never die unless it's to be martyred, but they don't do that anymore, at least not if you stay away from the Muslims. So, but Tom, it's very simple. All of the people who have preached, and I can name a lot of them. Catherine Kuhlman would be one, whom I knew.
Kenneth Hagin.
Kenneth Hagin. Well, he's died too, didn't he?
Well, E.W. Kenyon. I mean, we can go down the list.
And there is no evidence that any of the people who believed this and taught it lived any longer than anybody else. You would think they should have at least been 150 or 200, and I know that some of them had
That would give them some credibility, Dave.
Yeah, it would. Mm-hmm. I know that some of them had to, whom we won't name, go to the hospital. They've had some facelifts, and they've had to get maybe some, what do you call these glasses that nobody sees, contact lenses, so you don't know, and all kinds of operations and so forth. But that doesn't work either because it's not biblical. Yeah. But this doesn't even pretend to be biblical, and it doesn't work.
Well, let's start from a very basic idea as we talk about The Secret. First of all, unlike those that you just mentioned who would right up front claim to be Christian and this approach would be Christian, the Secret comes on as more of a sort of metaphysical or scientific way of going about achieving all that you want.
So-called New Thought.
Right. Well, that's what it is. The Secret really is a religious worldview. And the belief system is primarily a form of religious science, science of mind. We talked about Ernest Holmes last week, the originator, not really the originator, but a major promoter of those ideas.
Well, the founder of the Church of Religious Science.
Right. Anyway, that view says that God is really an impersonal spirit of which everyone is a personal expression. So God is a divine mind or intelligence that is influenced, and even some would say manipulated by our thoughts, because as an impersonal mind out there, it needs personal minds to really make it function.
Yeah, so you got the great mind out there that has all this power that you can tap into, but it doesn't have a mind of its own.
No.
You can use it however you want, like the Star Wars Force.
Right.
Tom, people believe this?
Dave, we addressed this big time in The Seduction of Christianity, which was written 22 years ago. And that wouldn't have been the first time it's come on the scene here in the United States. Let's go back to religious science. There were numerous movements related to it. We have Phineas Parkhurst Quimby, who influenced, his deal was mental healing. He influenced Mary Baker Eddy in Christian Science.
He was a hypnotist.
Right. We have New Thought, the Transcendentalists, such as Ralph Waldo Emerson and others. Unity School of Christianity, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. And then of late, he's passed away, but we have these ideas promoted in Christianity by Norman Vincent Peale, the power of positive thinking. His disciple, Robert Schuller, the possibility thinking, and just the men you didn't name, but we named some of them: Kenneth Hagin, Kenneth Copeland, Frederick Price, Marilyn Hickey, Joyce Myers, and on and on. And there are variations of that with, even Pat Robertson, for example, talks about the laws of reciprocity and so on in The Secret Kingdom. So these ideas are not new. It's not a secret. It's in the church, and it's big time. But we could go back to antiquity. As we mentioned last week, I believe, this idea came about in the Garden of Eden. This was Satan's main seduction of Eve. Mm-hmm. He said, you could be as God, and we're going to get to that point as we develop our analysis of the secret. So let's begin, Dave, and what I'd like to do is we go through the book, talk about some of the basic ideas of it, and you give a perspective. Probably the foremost teaching in this book, video, DVD, is the law of attraction. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of quotes from the book, and you just tell me what you think. How legitimate are some of these ideas? Quote, everything that's coming into your life, you are attracting into your life, and it's attracted to you by virtue of the images you're holding in your mind. It's what you're thinking. Whatever is going on in your mind, you are attracting to you. Now, another one of the featured individuals in the video says, thoughts become things. And, of course, there's an absolute that they refer to. It says that the law of attraction is absolute and there are no mistakes. How legitimate is all of that?
Well, Tom, it's pure nonsense. I mean, we talked about it, I think, our first program in this series. Let's say we both work for General Motors. I'm going to think I'm going to be president, and I'm going to hold that thought. Never mind what education I've had or what preparation or what business experience. I'm going to be president of General Motors. But you're thinking the same thought. You're going to be president of General Motors. And we got 100 other people in General Motors. Some of the guys out there on the assembly line, they're thinking, I'm going to be president of General Motors. Now, how does this work, Tom? First of all, this is competition now. Mm-hmm. This is not just the big mind out there giving us what we want.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to think harder than you, Dave.
Ah, there you go. See? Now, Jesus said, whosoever will say to this mountain, be thou removed and cast into the midst of the sea.
For more information about the Berean call us toll-free at our order number or visit our website